Need under 13D, add ACCG voting delegate designation for the county on their policy agenda vote that's coming up in the next week and a half.
I make a motion we approve the agenda with those amendments.
Second. I have a motion by Commissioner Sayer and a second by Commissioner Teasley to approve the agenda as amended. Any more discussion? Public comment on the agenda? Not all in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carried unanimously. Next item on the agenda is approve the minutes of the previous meetings. You got the August the 11th regular meeting minutes in your packet. Are there any changes, corrections?
Motion to approve.
I have a motion by Commissioner Sayer to approve the minutes.
Second.
And a second by Commissioner Teasley. Any more discussion? Public comment on the minutes? Not all in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carried unanimously. While we're talking about minutes, I would like to make sure the board is okay typically with real estate related executive session matters. Since this confidentiality has been breached, Walter, can we get our executive session minutes for the real estate from that July 14th meeting on our next agenda?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's some things in there that can be released now since it's been made public. So that'll be on the agenda for the next meeting. Item 7, remarks by invited guests, committees, and authorities. We don't have anyone. Item 8, reports by constitutional officers and department heads. Mr. Gordon, you got anything?
I do.
Okay. And now I'll go back to Mr. Patrick.
You had, the board had tasked me with 2 subjects at the last meeting. One was to contact the Attorney General's office about the breach of confidentiality from the executive session. I have not yet done that, and here's the reason why. My analysis of what occurred, or what I believe to be occurred, I don't find it to be criminal in nature. And that's why you typically would bring in the Attorney General's office for an investigation if something were criminal in nature, and I do not find that that was criminal in nature. I do find, though, that there's certainly ethical rules that should be considered. And let me just leave that one at that. The second thing that you had asked me to do was to prepare some type of ethics pledge, and I have done that as well. And interestingly enough, I guess I knew this at one time, but I didn't realize that the Hart County Code of Ordinances is absent an ethical code. Now, that may be the fact that the state has a code of ethics that you are bound by, period.
Which is Code Section 4510.3.
That's correct, 4510.3. You are absolutely bound by that section. But in looking at other counties, I find quite a number of them. In fact, maybe even, I don't want to say most of them because I haven't counted or compared, but quite a few of them have a code of ethics that appears in their local code of ordinances. So what I have done is I have proposed an amendment to the code of ordinances which would cover, basically it would add to the code of ordinances a section on a code of ethics. And what I want to do tonight, I'm not going to go through this tonight because of it gets pretty lengthy, but I want y'all all to look at this one. You could accept that on a first reading basis. You know, you'll have to do it 3 times. since it is an official amendment to the Code of Ordinances. If you wanted to accept it for the first reading tonight, certainly you can, and I can read it in full for you. Or just whatever you want to do. I mean, that one is one that several of you may have changes you want to propose to it or add other things to it, and that would certainly be fine to do at a later session. Now, the second thing that I did, pursuant